Hello, welcome to a Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. It is Friday, and after a week off, because the holidays are crazy, I am back with my 5 on Friday. This is the last Friday of the year. My 5 on Friday will reflect that. So before I get started, this was started by Suey over at Suey's Book Banter. It's just, we recommend five themed recommendations each week. My kids are making noise, I'm sorry. Hers are very well edited, and she puts music, and it's all very pleasant to watch. I set my timer and I talk for 5 minutes or try to do it in less than 5 minutes, which let's get started. We always start with the setting of the timer. Okay, here we go. Because it's the last Friday of the year, I am doing my top 5 books that I read for the first time in 2023. This includes both my favorite book of the year and my best book of the year. And yes, they are 2 different books. So I'm going to start. The first book I got is the only one that I did not give 5 stars to. It is it's an A+ book, but not a 5-star book. And that is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. The reason I'm including this, I loved this book, even though the subject matter is very hard. I loved the writing. I was just pulled in by it. But the real reason why this is on here is this book showed to me that I love Truman Capote. So after I finished this book, I ordered a bunch of his. So I guess I'm now a big, huge Truman Capote fan, all because of this book. The next 4 books are the 4 books that I gave 5 stars to this year. And that means that they're all-time favorites. The first one is, I'm going to start with this one, I think. The Bead Workers by Sarah Pietote. This is a short story collection. The author is Nez Perce. But she lives in the Bay Area. She's from, I believe, Eastern Oregon or Idaho. And this is Portland, Oregon. All the stories take place, at least in part, in Oregon. So this is a local book to me. I love this book. I mean, even without the local connection, I just thought this was a wonderful story collection. I will be rereading this early on this year, or 2024, because I will be doing it with Sarah at Roadworthy. This is part of our local Indigenous author thing we're doing this year. Next, I have, of course, The River We Remember by William Kent Krueger. I love William Kent Krueger. This is the 3rd of his standalones, and I have given all of them 5 stars. This is the most 5-starry of them. They just keep getting better and better. So, highly recommend this one. It's so wonderful. It's a murder mystery, but it's more just about community and things. I don't want to go too into it because I don't want to be spoilery. I want you to read this book. It is so good. Okay. My favorite book of the year, which is now my all-time favorite book, is Mink River by Brian Doyle. This is a very personal to me book. It is set on the Oregon coast. That's an area that I love and I visit frequently, not as frequently as I would like. This is a lot of magical realism. It talks about a small community, not a very prosperous community. I believe it's set kind of like in the 80s before, as timber was declining, but before tourism in the tourism kind of took over. The characters are fantastic. The story just got into my soul and stayed there. Okay, my best book of the year. This is the best book I read all year. Of course, is the one I don't have a copy of, but that is The Postcard by Anne Berest. This is translated from the French. This is a novel in only because the author calls it a novel only because she changed some names of her grandmother's neighbors. Otherwise, the story is true. It starts when the author and her family receive a postcard. They don't know who from, and on it are 4 names, and they're the names of her grandparents and her aunt and uncle, her grandmother's brother and sister, all of whom were killed at Auschwitz. So we have a World War II story about what happened with them, and it's an Auschwitz story, you know what happens. But then we go into the mystery of who sent this postcard, and she and her mother embark on trying to find the truth behind this postcard. This book, I just was breathless when I finished this book. The mystery is solved and it is very satisfying. I will say that. I fell in love with this book. I recommend this. This is a book that I would recommend to anyone. And as my best book of the year, I think it is quality-wise the best of all the books that I have read. If you haven't yet read The Postcard, highly recommend it. Go get The Postcard by Anne Berest. Those are my top books for 2023 with 1 minute to spare. I could have talked more and I didn't because I was trying to be good with the time, but there you go. I did it. That's my last 5 on Friday for 2023. So I will see you in the new year. Well, I'll actually see you tomorrow with my update, but I will do my next 5 on Friday next year. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to join my Discord, and please do check out Suey's channel and see what she's doing this week. We do not coordinate our topics. Although this one, we might actually have done the same one. I don't know. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.